What happened while we were away, brought to you by dementia. Joe Biden is making his first trip to the Middle East as president. He arrived in Tel Aviv, Israel yesterday, and after he fumbled around on the tarmac at Ben Gurion Airport, he delivered this message.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history.
Whoops, wrong clip.
I will once more return to the hollow ground of Yad Vashem to honor 6 million Jewish lives who were stolen in the genocide, and continue, which we must do every day, continue to bear witness. To keep alive the truth and honor of the Holocaust, horror of the Holocaust.
Speaking of Biden, Pope Francis says his support of baby killing while claiming he's Catholic is, quote, incoherence. Chief Elizabeth Warren is back on the warpath against crisis pregnancy centers.
In Massachusetts right now, those crisis pregnancy centers that are there to fool people who are looking for pregnancy termination help outnumber true abortion clinics by 3 to 1. We need to shut them down here in Massachusetts, and we need to shut them down all around the country. You should not be able to torture a pregnant person like that.
Aaron's razor update, it's just demonic, bro. During a House Oversight Committee hearing yesterday on the future of baby killing, a witness named Sarah Lopez had this to say.
What these restrictions are intended to do is try and stop people from having abortions, but abortion is health care. My abortion was the best decision I ever made. It was an act of self-love, and I'm here today to make sure that everybody who currently needs an abortion, who has had an abortion or will need an abortion, is not alone, no matter what the state tries to force upon us.
A man in Columbus, Ohio was charged this week with impregnating a 10-year-old Ohio girl who's traveled to Indiana to seek to kill the baby led to national attention and subsequent doubts about the veracity of the claims. 27-year-old Gershon Fuentes, an illegal alien, was arrested Tuesday after police say he confessed to raping the child on at least 2 occasions. He's since been charged with rape, a felony in the first degree in Ohio. Meanwhile, at the border, according to Fox News' Bill Malugin, who's made over 25 trips to the border, what you're watching right now is the most massive single border crossing he's ever witnessed. The illegals were spotted crossing the Rio Grande at Eagle Pass, Texas. The New York Times wrote a glowing profile of Ray Epps this week. Epps, as you're probably aware, is the man seen on video both before and during the events at the Capitol on January 6th, apparently egging protesters on. Epps, of course, has not been charged with any crime and has been at the center of inquiry as to whether or not he was a federal asset. The Times' piece paints Epps in a sympathetic light and as a victim of right-wing attacks and says he's quote-unquote suffering. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis held a meeting of top donors and fellow GOP governors recently. The meeting involved names like Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt, Governor Bill Lee of Tennessee, and conservative media figures like Buck Sexton and Josh Hammer. 2 recent polls from Neighborhood Research are very favorable for Ron DeSantis in Iowa and New Hampshire. In Iowa, Trump leads only by 21 points over DeSantis with 36% undecided. In New Hampshire, Trump's lead is only 19 points. A federal court has granted multiple state attorneys general requests to discovery and documents from top Biden White House officials and social media companies in an attempt to prove collusion between those parties to suppress and censor free speech. And finally, this from the Babylon Bee. Elizabeth Warren condemns Underground Railroad for tricking slaves into escaping. And that's what happened while we were away.